everyone. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil, and you are listening to WNS.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 281 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
We're on Twitter at WNS Podcast. You can follow Daniel at WNS_Daniel. And you can follow Tyler at Tyler_Abear. It's like riding a bike, boys.
Yeah.
Riding a bike.
You never.
The other day, I was searching. From time to time, I will search like WNS Podcast and see where we pop up because you know how new websites just post us on. I think there's something called Podbean that they put us on. Have you seen that?
I've seen a couple.
There's all sorts of like podcatchers out
How
there.
does that work? So you we're put out there on iTunes and all that stuff, and maybe Stitcher. So other websites will pull it from there or something, or they'll see that and like, hey, we want to be a website. People,
Or they'll pull it from iTunes or something like that. Who knows for sure?
I know that I've listened to podcasts in the past that their like dispense method of choice was like a Podbean or something like even as obscure as that. I don't know how like the unsolicited stuff happens, like where we didn't ask for a Podbean, we just have one.
Yeah, because there are a lot of sites that carry our show that I've noticed.
Because I've seen that, and I've seen a lot of websites that will carry some episodes, and they're not like even close to like having all of them, or they're not even close to catching up. Like they don't have like the last like 50 episodes or something like that. It's like
it's real weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange.
I mean, I know like iTunes and Stitcher doesn't do that stuff. It must be like the smaller guys' way of trying to like have content to like entice people to use it.
Look at what we've got on our page.
I don't know.
They're stealing
Really
our
don't
stuff. I mean, I don't care as long as people are listening to our show.
Yeah, like every now and then I like to see what other website,
Now, if those websites are claiming that it's their product, that's where the issue
What
comes
was
up.
that one?
Well, I mean, you do the whole spiel at the beginning, so even if they claimed it, we would like contradict them immediately.
But didn't you say there was like a group
It starts every episode with me coming in. How you guys doing?
Yeah. Didn't you say there was a group that like redid the intro and took one of the episodes or something like that? And because we did an interview and they try to crop our like
something along
voices
those
out
lines,
or something like that.
Or they were.
Now that's shady.
They claimed that that they had gotten the interview, but they used our interview for it.
Weird.
Yeah, very strange. So we have, I believe, Ben got on them and had it pulled. So welcome to the show. Welcome back, Doug.
Hey, I'm back.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Look at me being back.
back from the happiest place on earth. Were you happy?
Yeah, I think so. I had a good time. I felt a little decompressed, just for not having to do shit for a little while.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Since being back to work, I already feel like it's whatever had
Back
worked
to the grind.
Yeah, back to the grind.
That's how it was whenever I came back from the honeymoon. But I came in and I immediately had to do two people's jobs because one of the guys decided to take their vacation. So they were like, "Oh, we need you to fill in for him while he's gone." So I immediately came back and it was like piled on the work. And then ever since then, it's just been busy. So I haven't, still to this day, haven't been able to really catch my breath and slow things down.
Yeah, I hear you. Like I got back to work Monday and they're like, "Oh, okay, welcome back. You have to work overtime, and also your day's off this weekend. You're working." So it's like,
wow,
Good Lord.
Welcome back. Get to work.
yeah.
Did they get any replacements?
We've gotten some people. We're still not fully staffed though, so we're not as in deep of shit as we were for a while there, but we're still not like it's not like I'm gonna go do 8 hours and go home or anything.
Lame.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they get some people going, help you out there.
Yeah.
We're glad that you're back. Tell us a little bit about your trip.
I mean, I don't really know what there is to say. It was fun.
What was one of your favorite things about the trip?
Well, they're like building this new like Star Wars area of one of the parks, and it's still under construction, but they have this like this cool little building set up where they had a bunch of meet and greet stuff and a lot of like props on display and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Did you see Star Tours and see what I was telling you about how they added the latest movie into Star Tours?
Yeah, they sort of did like a huge mashup of like
Old and new.
it's always a mashup because it's like random, like who comes to talk to you, who attacks you, and like where you go is always like
Oh, really?
is different.
Because I only did it one time, so because Ray, or no.
We didn't get Ray. We got Finn a bunch. This
Finn,
one.
that's my bad. Finn helped us, and then BB-8 was there. So
Yeah, well, we were like I don't know, like 10 times because we're trying to get all the different things.
how many are there?
I don't know. We kept getting like very similar ones. I think someone said that they're sort of doing like a very like pared down version of it for right now. So I don't know exactly what.
Also, did you see the Star Wars fireworks show?
We didn't do that, but they
It was at the end of the night. It was like after what was that Mickey Mouse
Parade.
No. Phantasmic.
Oh yeah. No, we didn't see the fireworks this year. I don't think we stayed for the fireworks at any time this year. Maybe once, but we weren't like paying attention. We were like getting off of our rides and stuff.
Nice. What was your favorite ride to go on?
I mean, I really like Star Tours, but for like I mean, that's not real. I guess it's a ride, but it's not really a ride. It's like one of those rooms where you sit in and they like move the room around, so you're
gotcha.
like, you feel like you're flying or whatever. I guess I like Space Mountain a lot. It's pretty fun.
Did it have the longest line?
No, it actually broke. It broke on us like when we were about to get on, and they like shut it down, and they were like,
Jay Lethal was right.
they turned all the lights on, and like the employees were acting sort of like weird, and they're like, hey, it's gonna be a while, we don't know what's going on, and then they did these announcements where I guess how it's like dark in there. I guess they like had to turn all the lights on, and they're like doing these weird announcements like, hey, if you're on the track doing whatever, we're about to turn the lights back off, so get off the tracks or whatever. It was so weird. I wonder if it stopped while people were like on it. We hadn't gotten on it yet, but so yeah. But it's a fun ride.
I forgot which ride that I was on whenever I went to Disney, and this was back when I was like in third grade. But I got in line for it. We got on the ride, and there had been a lot of storms that had been passing throughout the time. So, of course, lines were somewhat short for certain places. But you go through this giant tube, and as you go through it, there's like a beeping noise that gets louder and louder as you go through it. So it's like do and then you take off or whatever. Mm-hmm. The ride broke down when we were in that tube. And so that's all we hear. And they have the speakers built into the headset or whatever behind you. So they come on and they're like, well, meanwhile you've got the whole time. I'm like, I don't understand a thing that's happening right now. So
the thing about the Disney rides is they're like the perfect like level for me, because I don't like super thrill ride type stuff. Like I'm very scared of heights, and like any like real quote unquote real roller coasters would scare the shit out of me.
You didn't do Rock and Roller Coaster, did you?
Yeah, I did that.
See, because
that one doesn't bother me.
See,
the worst part of that is like the takeoff, because you're like, oh shit, it's really
I think
fast right now.
The one that may freak certain people out, I don't know, may freak you out, like the Hulk roller coaster.
See, that would probably scare the shit out of me.
It was fun. And then the Dueling Dragons, that's at Universal Studios. And then they have an indoor roller coaster, the Mummy Returns. That was pretty cool. But no, like the two fastest, I guess you call roller coaster or fast track thing, whatever you call it, is Space Mountain and Rock and Roller Coaster. So
yeah, I mean, like pretty much anything at Disney I can ride. It's not a big deal. But I think like some of the shit at Universal would give me some fits for sure. I remember riding like legit roller coasters at like Astroworld and stuff when I was a kid with my dad. But like I think there was just like I grew up enough to be like, oh shit, that's kind of scary, and then ever since then I was like, fuck that, I'm not getting on that.
Yeah. Did you ride the Pirates of the Caribbean ride?
Yeah, I did.
Whenever we went, there was such a short line that whenever we got back to the station, there was no one there, and so the guys, yeah, pretty much. He was like, "Hey, I want to go again." We ended up doing it 3 times in a row. That was pretty cool.
I did Splash Mountain 3 times in a row, and then the third time it got stuck right before you make that bigger drop right there, and like that's when that like fox has the rabbit and he's about to cook it, and you're just standing there, and the stuff is just repeating over and over and over. I'm like, come on, I'm tired of this shit.
Get out and paddle.
I did Splash Mountain like the first time we went, but I don't do it anymore just because I don't like to get wet and then walk around all day. So like I don't get on those.
Cool. Good stuff. I'm glad that you had a good time. Sorry you had to go back to work.
Yeah, it was bound to happen.
One more thing, I know that I was looking for Marvel stuff, and the only thing you really see at Disney is like in downtown Springs or downtown Disney, whatever you call it, and it has like one Marvel studio. I swear,
not that good though.
It's not that good. It's been years since I've been, probably about 4 or 5 years. But Super Marvel Hero Land at Universal Studios is way better than that.
Yeah, I imagine.
Did y'all get to go to Universal?
No, we were talking about going, but we didn't end up going.
What they need to do is have some partnership with WWE and have like a WWE land and stuff. Like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. I'd like to see that. So welcome back, Doug. Glad that you had a good time. Glad you come back. Appreciate it. So let's talk about
I'm back, baby.
Chicks, man. Sure. Actually, let's dive into feedback. First bit of feedback we have is from Pablo saying, yes, Shinsuke on the cover. Draft him both to Raw and SmackDown while keeping him on NXT and give him all the titles, including the women's title. Make the Raw opening.
Well, you can't do that in the game, but you know.
Make the Raw opening Shinsuke's theme music. And most importantly, JBL cannot talk while his matches are taking place. Same for Cole and Saxton. Only Morrow and Graves.
Doubt Morrow, Saxton, all those guys would be in the game. Or talking or whatever. I'm still hoping Shinsuke's in there. I kind of think he's just going to be DLC. I don't think he's going to be on the main roster.
We'll see.
We'll see.
There's still time. Plenty of time. So thanks for the feedback. Next bit of feedback.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
Never mind. I thought we were somewhere else. Go ahead.
Where else would we be?
I thought we were done with. I didn't look at that. There was another question. Go ahead.
It's not a question. It's feedback.
Well, I'll do it after the feedback.
Are you sure you don't want to do it now? We can do it now if you want. Okay.
You guys should definitely keep making a big deal about this total non-issue about whether he does it now or not.
I mean, it's going to happen
it's
regardless.
It's just a stupid question I got for Doug.
What's the question?
No, it's
go ahead and ask it.
Let's just wait.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be a letdown for him, but I don't know.
It's
I'm
already a letdown.
Anyway. What? Oh, come on.
The hype is over.
Your face has hype. Now read it.
Damn. So next bit of feedback we have is from Canadian War Machine saying, hey guys, and I believe welcome back, Doug.
Hey, thanks for the welcome back.
Another good show makes my drive to work go faster. I just wanted to bring up TNA again. As you know, I'm a TNA fanboy, so I am not a fan of little jabs. If I remember correctly, you guys, or at least Doug, would check out TNA again if they put on a solid show for a long period of time. Well, in my opinion, as well as good old JR, PW Torch, and ProWrestling.net, all believe that ever since going to Pop, TNA has put on a solid product and deserve support to help them get out of their slump. Okay, maybe the broken Matt Hardy is a little odd, but everything else is really solid stuff. Just give it a shot and keep up the fun show.
I mean, I felt like I've tried to clarify this point a few times now, but I'll try again. Like, my thing with not watching TNA is not even a judgment of the quality of the show, because I will watch shitty wrestling shows just to watch shitty wrestling shows. Mine was all like a time thing. Like, just because I've been so busy. There are many weeks I don't even catch a Raw these days. So it's not, I think what we're trying to do is to give you some insight as to why people who have quit watching, not because of time constraints, have quit watching. And maybe I was trying to speak for you guys, and when you can speak for yourselves, I don't know. But it's not, I don't need anyone to pimp it to me. I don't even want anyone to pimp it to me. Like, if I have the time, I will watch it. I mean, it's just that simple. Like,
Yeah.
And I don't know if those are the places I look to tell me if something's good or not anyway. So.
Very good stuff.
Oh, actually, that part of that question kind of speaks about what I'm going to ask you, whatever.
Well, one more thing is, like, I did see the video of that Matt Hardy shit, though, but
Brother Nero.
You say that's a little weird. That's probably, like, the most interesting thing they've done in fucking years, I can imagine.
Canadian War Machine. I knew you'd come.
No, that's actually what I was going to talk about and see if you...
I've only seen that video. Like, I don't...
You see the regular one or director's cut?
Probably the regular.
You need to watch the director's cut.
No, I think it's good. I think it's hilarious. I like it because
So
it's cheesy.
bad.
But no, I mean, I think it's funny. I watched it many times because I like it.
I don't want to...
But that's the thing. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny. I think they were being serious.
That's the best part is I'm intrigued if that was tongue-in-cheek or if it was straight-faced. So I don't want to know more. I just want to, like, let it
be its own thing.
Let it be its thing. I don't want to know, like, if they were trying to make a good thing or if they were trying to make a funny thing. Just let it be, like...
Because there's so many things in that video that point to... They have to know how bad it is. I really think it was, like, a way to get people talking so that maybe they would tune into TNA and be like, what on earth is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on it. Mm-hmm. They're like, let's make something that's going to make people talk. And sure enough, it got people to talk. Now, did it have a positive effect? That's still up in the air.
I think a lot of people... I've actually read a lot of people who liked it and stuff.
Yeah, but they like
it
for the wrong reasons.
I like it too. I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally okay with getting whatever enjoyment you can get out of something, even whether or not that was the intended way for you to enjoy it. If you enjoy it on some level, then I'm fine with that. That's sort of where I sit on that. I don't even want the context. I just want it to sort of exist in this weird bubble where I don't know if they were serious or not. And then that's sort of like what makes it so great. I don't know.
Brother Nero, it's over.
Is everything okay, Mr. Hardy?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, we're good.
The baby toss and everything, that was so great. I don't know.
That, and then I didn't even know he had like what was that glass bottle he hit him in the head with?
Yeah.
And then that table they landed on, that was great.
I told you this would happen. I told you.
Nobody like write in and comment because I know I'm saying right now I don't have the context because I haven't had time to see it and I don't want to know the context. So nobody write in and tell me the context. I just want it to exist like
Don't ruin this for Doug.
Whenever I get back around to it is whenever I get back around to it.
What's really funny is I went back and I rewatched the director's cut and the scene where they're in the gym and they're having the conversation and all that. You can see the GoPros and the cameras and the light fixtures and all that they have set up off in the background.
I didn't notice
like anytime you see the okay, so you've got the ring and the little table to the side. Anytime that the camera goes between the table and the ring, look off to the right hand side and you'll see their setup.
Just like the little like cheesy stuff, like like when he's playing the piano music and stuff, and you can see where the sheet music is, and then later on it turns to Jeff comes up and it's like, I knew you would come, Brother Nero, and then he pulls the contract off where the music is. Well, the contract was not where the music was, because the camera showed it. So I think that was funny. I like the part he's like, hey, follow me. Matt walks to the back where the ring is. And, like, you think Jeff will be walking right next to him, but there's, like, a big distance between him and stuff. I don't know, little things and, like...
How much longer are we talking between director's cut and regular cut?
It's like a 5.5 minute video.
What's the original?
Probably like 2 or 3.
Maybe I'll seek that out.
Yeah. We'll send it to you or something. Just for comedy's sake. I did get a kick out of all the video spoofs that people added for the piano.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Like one was like the Thomas the Tank Engine, him playing that on the piano and all that, and then it just abruptly stops.
Leave it up to the people on the internet to do something like that.
Absolutely.
The thing about it, though, is if it was... Again, I don't know and I don't want to know, so don't fucking write in and tell me. If it was tongue-in-cheek on purpose, it's supposed to be a little silly, it's supposed to be a little funny, the only way that it would work is that because TNA has been so incompetent in the past that people would buy in that it was actually them trying hard. So no other company could pull this off effectively because you'd have to believe that the company was actually that incompetent as to put that out there. And that's sort of what makes it work. I mean, honestly, that's what makes it work.
No joke. I mean, I didn't get to watch the match. What happened at the pay-per-view, but it made me want to watch it. It did.
Yeah. So, anyways, good stuff. Let's dive into Raw as we get closer to BattleGround.
Chicks, man.
It's a
good thing you want to talk about the one show I've seen in recent memory.
We kick things off with Seth Rollins coming out and saying, hey, we're getting ready for the main event at BattleGround, but you know what? It's Monday Night Raw, and I've got an open mic, and I got something to say. So we're going to impromptu put up a tweet. There's no way that the boys in the back knew about this because I'm going off the cuff, man.
So what do you think about Roman getting suspended and then them taking a shot at that?
I think it's super weird. I think that, well, honestly, I don't know how fair it is to speculate on like what he got popped for because I don't think we know for sure yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation, but nothing's confirmed.
There's like a lot of like weird ways you could fail the test. Like I think I heard when Hornswoggle, like when he got popped and failed, I guess because of his I'm not trying to be offensive if the word isn't like dwarfism is not the correct terminology.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just because of his condition, like he has problems like being able to piss and like how the tests go. If they're like you aren't able to produce like a like you're just that's an automatic suspension.
Mm-hmm.
If you are just having a bad day and you're like fuck you, I'm not taking the test today. It's automatic failure.
Yeah.
And then like even like supposedly like Ricardo Rodriguez, his was like for fat burners, like over the counter shit. They have like weird shit in there that you can get over the counter that you can get popped and fell for.
Mm-hmm.
They really go for that. Like you really are suspended, but like hey, you have to explain to him. Because they don't know what's exactly in your system, right?
Well, they know when they test and they're like, oh, this comes up on the substance that are banned list. But
they shouldn't suspend them for something like that.
Well, I mean, the fat burners are like on the
If he can provide like a medical reason for having to take it, then they'll allow
some
it.
of that fat burner shit is they might just be like, that's harmful. Like you shouldn't be taking that like while you're doing this shit. And they're just like, we don't want
they can like destroy your kidneys or something.
Yeah, like all those like. Do you remember hearing about all those fucking like whatever those like diet pills where people ends up having all kinds? Fuck, I mean, people are having problems from drinking energy drinks. There's all kinds of weird shit.
I know with like every pill that's out there is some side effect to it. There's not like one pill that doesn't have side effects that I believe really.
Sure.
So
I mean, even like aspirin or Tylenol or whatever fucks your stomach or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Liver, right?
One fucks your liver, one fucks your stomach, I think. But so it's weird to like speculate. I mean, here's the thing that I'm like super cynical of is I don't think anybody else, well, first I should say no one else in his position has ever been suspended before. No other guy that high on the totem pole has ever taken it. I know people will say Orton, but Orton was never on his
he wasn't the top guy at the time, and then they wrote him off as an injury.
Right. So Orton is the closest thing, and he's not for sure not in the same boat as Reigns. So I think it's really weird how they've handled this. They sort of like pumped it out into all their like co-opted media, like all their media partners. They sort of like fed them the story. So that's like really weird.
It's pretty much like, hey, whatever happened, don't know what happened, but you failed or whatever. You're still gonna be in the main event, but you're still high.
They know why he failed.
I know we don't know.
They just don't have to say.
Yeah, we don't know.
And he's under no obligation to clear it up either.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, you're going to have an apology. We're going to pump it out. We're going to take a shot at you and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really weird. I don't think, because this is me being really cynical, but I 100% believe this. If you put a gun to my head, and if I was right, I got to live, and if not, I died, I would 100% say they control who gets popped and who doesn't. Because I 100% believe there are guys who fucking get passes that other guys don't, which begs the question, like, why did this happen to Roman? Did they just give up on him? Did they say he's not catching on? So is this a failed push and they're like, fuck you, we're going to use you now as a way of saying our wellness policy is legitimate because look, our top guy got popped and we told everyone about it. Is that what's going on? Because goddamn it, this would never happen to John Cena. I fucking promise you, it was never happen to John Cena.
No. He's untouchable.
This would never happen to a guy like Triple H. I fucking swear. I mean, there are guys you know for sure who have like reasonable questions you could raise about them. This would never ever fucking happen. If this happened to John Cena, they would not be burying him in the open segment on Raw. They would fucking bury that shit on the rug. They wouldn't be feeding it to all their co-opted media. It's so weird. So I don't know what to, because I haven't been following as closely as you guys because I've been gone. But I just like the way they've handled it is so weird. Like they would never do this to another guy. Well, not another. They would never do this to another guy of his status in the company.
Yeah.
In the past, is
So
what I'm
you're
saying.
acknowledging that he's a guy.
What? No, man, he's the guy. He's the guy.
You heard him.
But he
lost
would
my train of
never.
thought.
They would never do
Sorry.
this to someone else. Like,
No, that's true.
and so like, what is the motivation? Is it to legitimize their testing process? Is it just them giving up on him and they're like, because it's weird if they've just given up on him, then why keep him in the main
Damn
event?
it, Roman, we gave you everything, and
Why keep him in the main event if they've given up on him? So then why bury him if you're not haven't given up on him? It's weird. Do they think this like humanizes him? Do they think people are gonna think this makes him look cool? Like he's just a regular dude. He fucked up, or he's cool.
I don't
'cause he's,
see how that would make people think he's cool because this
well,
happened.
there are some. I mean, there are some things that like people you look at as untouchable. Like they do something that sort of humanizes them. They're like, oh, well, they're not this big fucking thing. They're just like a regular dude like me, or the regular chick like me, or whatever. I'm not trying to get like, you know,
Person.
gender. I'm not trying to get into gender style. I'm just mean like, you know, they're just regular
Right.
people. So do they think this humanizes them? And that it will turn people around on them? No matter what their logic is, I don't see how it works out for them.
I think they sent Ambrose out there as the voice of the backstage officials. Be like, hey, he's just human, you know. He makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's all happening. But they sent Rollins out there as a way of saying, we understand what you guys are saying and your frustrations.
Well, my thing is, by acknowledging it on the show at all,
It's very meta.
it's very burying the guy because they would never do. If John Cena, like they would never say nothing. They would have like wrote him out on an injury angle, or they would have just not mentioned it, and he would have just whatever. They would have just kept their fucking lips shut until his.
Well, it's like Titus O'Neil. He got suspended for 60 days or whatever, and he came back. They didn't really acknowledge it, except for the weekly interview with Michael Cole. He was like, you got suspended, tell me about it. And then he, sort of diverted it to something else. He was like, well, it was a chance for me to reflect on my career and my kids, my family and all that, and what I mean as a role model and blah, 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 blah. But he didn't really say, here's why. But it was still very weird that they bring up that someone got suspended.
Yeah, but that is.
And it's completely different in this scenario because on here...
That's
on
like the difference between grab-assing and failing a drug test is like a big difference,
Yeah.
Let's see. All those people like acknowledge it. Stephanie did. Seth Rollins, Dean.
I think
like-
because it's the main event, all eyes on the company.
They're going to have to say
one of your-
something about, oh, what happened? I mean, I guess they could have done an injury thing. I don't know.
Well,
But-
my thing is like, even if you take the stance that they had to say something to acknowledge his absence,
Yeah.
they went a little fucking overkill with it. They wouldn't
Yeah, I
have
agree.
treated. I truly don't believe they would have treated a guy like John Cena or a guy like Triple H like that. For sure,
He said
I bet
something.
my life on it.
Oh, no, for sure. I agree with you. He will never okay, let's just be honest. You think John Cena he's done stuff in WWE before with...
I think you could look at John Cena's body and say, yeah, maybe that dude stuck in some steroids in his life. I think you could look at Triple H and say, maybe that dude maybe taking steroids currently. I don't know. I mean, these are like complete speculation. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying, like, see, that's where it gets weird because I heard the rumor was going to come out that it was like fat burners again because that's why he wears the shirt because he's not confident in like his midsection and stuff. That's why some people think it's still part of the look. A lot of people believe that like the guys in his family get like flabby once they hit around 30 and he's like getting there. So he maybe was not confident in his body. I don't know. Like, we don't know. It still hasn't officially come out like what the thing was, but there's a big difference between like
31.
performance enhancing drugs. Like, there's a big difference between steroids and like getting popped for like he wanted to smoke pot or something. It's like a fucking world.
And there was also a rumor saying that that he just didn't take it.
Yeah.
So
that's an automatic failure if you just refuse.
Yeah.
So I mean, people will say, well, if you didn't have anything to hide, you would take it. Well,
Right.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, the speculation is a little bit unfair
until an official statement is made. Hey, here's what the issue was.
Well, the thing is, there will never be an official statement from
Right.
WWE or Roman Reigns. We'll look to guys like Meltzer to try and fucking tell us, like,
Crack it.
yeah, but
see who overheard something backstage. You know,
but to me, that's what's weird is because why are they treating him like they treated him, and what did he do to allow himself to? I don't know. I thought I listened to all the show last week. Man, I was in the car. I might have dozed off. Did you guys talk about this last week?
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we touched on it.
I don't know, man. I think the whole situation is really weird. I think it's unprecedented because I don't think anyone has been. Obviously, no one in his position has ever been in this position.
Mm-hmm.
But
and the fact that he's going to come back 3 days before the pay-per-view and go right back into a main event picture.
What do you think? Do you think that's wrong? Do you think that's like he should be off of the main event?
I think, yeah. In all honesty, no, not to make it seem like I'm hating on him or anything like that, because he has definitely improved in the ring, and he would make a viable heel. But I feel, as a company, you got to say, well, okay, it really depends on why he got suspended in my view, because if it was drugs or something of that nature, you can't have him be in the main event. You just got to pull him. Be like, hey, he knew the consequences of doing what he did.
Because that's not even like a slap on the wrist, because you just got away with it. Yeah, you got a suspension, but you're back in the main event picture.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're just not going to be involved in the build.
I mean, he will. They said the punishment for this fuck up is 30 days. He did his 30 days. So you still think it's like, I mean, here's my thing. I can get with what you guys are saying if you say it doesn't matter what you fucking did. You took something that's on that list, says don't take this shit. You even if it was on some supplements you got at GMC, should have read the instructions real fucking good. Make a lot of money, pay someone to figure that shit out for you.
Hire a nutritionist or something. Then
I'm with you guys 100% if you say I don't care if it was pot, I don't care if it was fat burners, I don't care if it was supplements from GNC, I don't care if it was steroids, I don't care if it was crack cocaine. If it's on this list and you feel I'm fine with people taking that position, but my position is there are people doing shit on that list that ain't getting popped. For
right.
Fucking sure.
Well, yeah, sure.
For fucking sure. So, like, why? What's
that's the random screening. It's like, okay, well, just how random is it? When was the last time you were tested?
What was the thing that Evan Bourne was hanging with some guys or whatever? I guess it was a pot or
synthetic.
Whatever.
See, marijuana is just the fine now. It's not a suspension anymore. It's just a fine. So you can smoke all you want, but if you piss hot, you got to pay them whatever.
Because there was a thing that he took heat for someone else, a big star that was with him, and that star didn't get caught. They wouldn't say who, but
I don't know. But I mean, pot. It's not even pot. I don't know why I said it. Just because. Just
because a lot of people out there in the world have been saying pot.
Yeah, I mean, pot is only a fine. It's not a suspension. So I'm fine with people taking that position. If it's on the list and you did it, then fuck you. You take your suspension. But I know there are people who are doing shit on that list and get suspended. That's where I'm like. That's where it's hard for me to be like, well, he did the crime, do the time.
Yeah.
But also, since he's gone for most of it or whatever, I feel like just let Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose do their thing, and then he can jump back in maybe in the next.
You can have him fight for that spot after
Battleground. Come back as a heel. I think if he comes back as a heel, he'll be all right.
Come back all pissed off.
I think if he comes back as a babyface, he might be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Why so?
Just because...
Is that a sign for something?
No, I just think it's the crowd will respond to him better as a heel. If he just comes back, he's like, fuck y'all, like, whatever. I mean, like, full on, not this walking the line tweener shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, full on, I'm just a bad guy. I think the crowd will eat that shit up. And within weeks, I think he'll win the crowd over. But I mean, do you feel he was presented as a heel, or do you feel he was?
No, he was.
Do you think by what they did? I know that they presented both sides with Ambrose and Rollins, but do you think overall he came across as a good guy, came across as a bad guy? How do you think they presented him? And what do you think their intent was to present
this
him?
time before he got suspended or during the
No,
pay-per-view?
just Monday Night on Raw, the opening segment. Do you think he was... What do you think the intention of that segment was? Do you think it was... We just have to address it, and this is our best effort, or do you think it was we're trying to make him look good, like he's not that bad, or you think we're trying to make him look like he's bad, or like what do you think the intention?
I feel
was?
like they were just trying to address it. I could be wrong. How
they were. Rollins was addressing it and voicing his frustration, saying this guy shouldn't even be in the match. Ambrose comes in trying to make safe, saying, "Hey, look, he makes a mistake. We all do it. We all make mistakes. He's human. Let's move on and focus on BattleGround."
I just think by addressing it all, it sort of puts them in a bad light, which I don't think they would do to too many other people.
Yeah.
We're probably sort of like harping on this by now, but
analyzing too much.
Yeah, but I mean, I just feel like they fucked the poor guy, and I don't know that I have 100% belief that he deserves to be fucked at this point. So
I hope they didn't.
It's hard for me to.
No one deserves that. But,
yeah, and it's always going to be up in the air until they officially announce the reason, if they ever
never
do.
Will,
yeah.
Never will.
So
we're counting on Meltzer to get the word out.
I mean, whoever. I mean, that's just the prominent name.
Alvarez. Meltzer Alvarez.
No, not
Corey
Alvarez.
Graves.
Corey Graves. What?
I'm sure he's backstage sometimes. He hears things.
Dudes who are there know. They know why the guy got popped.
Yeah.
They're just not going to say shit.
But here's my thing. Like, do they set people up in WWE because they know some people who may say stuff to the dirt sheets?
Yes, they try to see
rat them out.
Yes, they feed fake shit to people to see if that fake shit gets out, then they know who says whatever. Yes, they do that.
It's interesting.
I thought you were gonna say, do they set up people like when they're pissing? I was like, how do they do that? Because they gotta. Don't you remember that thing where they're talking about like nipples and knees? Like they have to fucking be naked from their nipples up and knees down when they're pissing. Like they have to be. Nothing. They can't
fully
you can't
naked.
Just,
so there's some person watching them while they're fully naked.
yeah. Like you can't
Have
like
to be in the room with them.
you can't just like open your pants and like take a piss like a normal.
Check it
like
out.
you have to like pull your pants so that you're not like hiding a something that has piss in it, like clean piss.
No. That guy has a huge penis.
All right.
Okay.
Who's this hypothetical big dong demand you're talking about?
Big dong.
Whose penis popped in your mind whenever you were
I don't
saying
know.
that?
I don't know.
I mean, there's got to be someone that you were imagining standing in a
No,
room
not really.
with their shirt up, pants down, and you're just looking at the dick.
If there's anyone, probably John Cena, right?
Well,
He's
there
the
you
man.
go. Okay, so he's thinking about John Cena's dick.
I'm alright with that. Fine, man.
Oh,
You
when
do
that
you.
segment,
You do you, Tyler over here.
when that segment
You ain't the
came
only
on,
person thinking about John Cena's dick.
yeah,
Lots of people think about John Cena's dick. It's fine.
it has to be thought about.
Nikki
you know.
Bella's going to have some words for him.
There's a
be
guy
like,
who has a
"That's my dick."
podcast and he's talking about your penis. Whenever that segment came on, like he first said, like before when Rollins was talking about that, he was like, "Well, I passed my piss test because that's what you want him to say or something like that."
Yeah. Like,
That would've been
I would love
hilarious.
for him just to come out with that kind of attitude. You'd be like, he doesn't deserve to be in that spot. I passed my piss test. Dean passed his piss test. And so it should just be one-on-one.
I mean, he sort of did that in a backhanded way by
Yeah.
saying like he was offended that like
We worked so hard to get to this point, and the fact that I did enjoy the fact that he like kept going with it whenever he was on commentary. Like the fact that I associated with myself with him all those years, I'm kind of ashamed now. And it's like, dang, man, they're like really driving it home. All right, we get it. So we kick Raw off with Rollins coming out addressing the situation, Ambrose coming out to retort, and then AJ Styles saying, "Hey, I mean, we can still have a triple threat. Why don't you add me to the match? Or if you're intent on keeping Roman Reigns, we'll have ourselves a fatal 4-way." And the crowd seemed to dig that. And then John Cena came out and was like, "Well, hey, as long as we're throwing people in the matches, make me in there, and we'll be a fatal 5-way." And
I thought when AJ came out, my honest like knee jerk reaction was like, oh, they just pulled the switch. They're just gonna sub him in. I was like, that's probably a better way to handle the situation than what they did.
Yeah. And when Cena came out, I was like, are they gonna do a fatal 5-way? I was like, and then he's like, no. I was like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. I
Yeah.
think
Cena and Styles still have unfinished business to take care of. So Stephanie McMahon comes out, addresses the situation, saying,
Let me ask you guys, what the fuck's up with the podiums? Because no one touched those podiums. Have they been there?
Yeah, this is the second
for like
week in a row.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's really
They're
the
just
only
hyping the
time
draft.
they touched it was last week. John Laurinaitis came out.
people power.
It was
shit.
It was freaking hilarious. Okay, what they've been doing for the last few
Bright
weeks
red
is
suit.
the last like people who's been managing SmackDown and Raw of the past have been coming back, and they've been trying to campaign to be on SmackDown. Theodore Long, Corporate Kane. This is the second time maybe.
Vicky?
Huh?
Not
Vicky.
yet.
Not Vicky.
We're
We're waiting
we-
like for Vicky or
Are we
the Brad
expecting a
Maddox.
visit from Vicky?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I've
be
been expecting.
surprised.
But John Laurinaitis was hilarious because he comes out and he's like, he's been talking about SmackDown and all that stuff, and Shane McMahon comes out, like, what are you doing? It's like, you need to go, and he goes, oh, come on out, Shane. Come on out, Shane. It's like I want to prove to you that I can run SmackDown and stuff, and he goes, no, we're not having none of that. And he goes, what we're looking for is change and stuff. He goes, Big Johnny loves change. and he goes,
Oh shit, that suit is fucking pimp.
Yeah.
and it's hilarious. He goes, and Shane's like, I'm going to run SmackDown. He goes, well, that's a good idea, Shane. He runs over to the Raw podium. He goes, Shane O'Mac runs SmackDown and Big Johnny runs Raw. So
And Big Johnny will run Raw. People power!
Yeah. Big Johnny.
Nice.
yeah, Big Johnny. so that's their running gimmick. I think Kane's done it twice or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Kane's actually like back now, I guess.
Yeah. So now we're expecting what? Vicky and Brad Maddox and
Brad Maddox ain't coming back.
no. Well, he did come back for a little bit.
Talking
AJ Lee's coming back.
Talking about Mad Braddocks.
Man. And then, hey, no one ever responded with that. Did everyone respond about that? The computer. You remember how you said Hornswoggle was the anonymous GM?
Oh,
I don't ever remember that.
He's not coming back either.
Yes, actually, someone did. Someone sent me a
No,
tweet.
because he told me that, and I don't ever remember Hornswoggle being the anonymous general manager.
Yeah, I think that was the reveal, wasn't it?
Yeah, Santino was the one who discovered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Fucking super sleuth. Gumshoe Santino.
He had the hat and
The Sherlock hat and the
yeah.
magnifying glass.
In the past, though,
It was Mitch at MadDog1715 saying, "I remember Hornswoggle being the anonymous Raw GM. Sorry, A-Bear. Great podcast as always."
well, you know what
Bear.
happens.
You're
Yeah,
fucking stupid.
You're stupid. You don't remember shit. I lost my train of thought. Dang it. What was the? Oh man, I don't know what I was gonna say.
Where you going with this, man? What's happening?
What was I thinking?
Take a second.
Take a breather. Hornswoggle.
You got this.
Raw GM. People power.
Anonymous.
Something about the SmackDown.
Mad Braddocks.
Johnny's Pimps.
Yeah, well, I can't remember what I was gonna say, but
we walked it back about as far as we could.
Yeah, so
Doug went to Disney World.
well,
I'm back now.
yeah. Oh, that's it. No,
That's right.
That's right. But no, the podiums were on one side. One was on one side, one was on the other, and then now the podiums are on.
They're side by side.
Yeah, so no one's gonna really use it. I guess they're just waiting for the
draft.
the draft. So
It's time to shake
So
things up
the
again.
draft is going to be the first live SmackDown?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I guess we'll have to record the show Wednesday night for that. So just be forewarned out there,
I'm
listeners.
pumped for the draft, man.
If you normally listen to our show on Wednesdays, we're going to be going to Thursdays. Something along those lines. Give it a shot. See how it feels. So Stephanie made the match. Cena versus Rollins. If Cena wins, he gets put in the match. And then it's going to be Styles versus Ambrose. If Styles wins, he gets put in the match. So it could potentially be a fatal 5-way at BattleGround. So we get to kick things off. The first match, Paige teaming up with Sasha Banks to go up against Charlotte and Dana Brooke. And unfortunately, we had a little bit of bad weather at my house. Cable got knocked out. Did not get to catch this match at all. So good old Doug. What did you think about this matchup?
Well, are we talking about the tag, women's tag?
Yes.
Okay. It was fine mostly, but I thought it was weird for Sasha to start off the babyface shine with like a corner like choke in the ropes with the foot. That's like a sort of like a heel like control segment move. So it was really odd to start off that way. And I know that most of her moveset is geared towards being a heel, and most of her moveset is, I mean, she's better as a heel, and her moveset is sort of geared towards her being a heel. And I don't know how, I mean, when I was gone, she wasn't even on fucking TV. Before I was gone, for however long she hasn't been on TV. So I don't know if she's been a heel or what. I just thought it was weird. I thought they were being presented as the baby faces.
She returned at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And has not been on Raw. Like, this is her first week on Raw.
Okay, yeah, that's a weird choice for structuring the match. Well, not structure necessarily, because they sort of went into some babyface shine, but it was like a weird choice to me that sort of threw me off. So,
or no, she came back last week on Raw after the Paige and Charlotte match.
It was mostly fine. I just thought that
right.
was a super odd choice to go to right off the fucking bat in the babyface shine segment. So I don't know why she did that, but otherwise, that was fine.
Good old WWE logic, where heels are baby faces and baby faces are heels, and
I mean, it wasn't like overtly a heel thing. It was just like more of a heel, like heat segment type of a thing. Like, you're gonna fucking grab a hold, especially like a corner like foot choke is like, you know, where you're keeping the baby face down so they can build up their comeback. Like, it was like one of those type of things that was put at the very beginning where you should do babyface shine. So I thought it was super fucking weird. But other than that, it was fine. I'm harping on one fucking move that lasted about 30 seconds.
But Paige and Sasha Banks end up defeating Charlotte and Dana Brooke, which takes us into the next matchup. Titus O'Neil going up against Rusev. This match ends in a countout with Titus O'Neil getting the victory.
Just that hot fire, y'all. I was hype on this shit.
Yeah, I've been into their stuff.
Tyler
Rusev's
said he watched Rusev on SportsCenter or ESPN.
on ESPN. That shit was hilarious.
Was he in gimmick the whole time?
No, yes and no. Lana pretty much dropped her accent. She had a little accent. And then Rusev still had his accent, but it wasn't that strong. And then Coach would ask him questions about different things, and he asked him about his relationship. And he goes, "Hey, what's your favorite part of your relationship?" And he goes, "Nighttime."
Yeah, Rusev's a man. So is Titus.
And then Lana says something else, and then it's like, what's your your least favorite part? He goes, "Daytime." This is hilarious. Everything there was another thing he said or he did, I forgot, but he's just funny. Everything he does, and
yeah, I was hyped. This is probably like my favorite thing on Raw. I was pretty hyped for this shit. I like so I got the little bit of the backstory just because they like rolled the video package before. So after they rolled it, Titus came out smiling. I was like, what the fuck has he got to be so happy about? I thought he was pissed off. But then he did it just a sucker punch, and I was like, right the fuck on, Titus. Right on. I mean, what's not to like about two like big dudes just sort of like smacking the shit out of each other? I mean, I guess people, I'm sure there are people out there who are going to be like, they didn't do any fucking moves with the Z, so fuck these guys or whatever. But like, you know, if you can't just enjoy like two big dudes smacking the shit out of each other, then like, you know, we're not going to come to any sort of agreements between the two of us. So I'm not even going to try. But this was hype. I just want to see these dudes sort of fucking beat on each other for a while. So I don't know, how was the pay-per-view match?
it was all right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They shouldn't try to get too far out of this. We're just going to beat the shit out of each other.
Right.
Thing. But when they're just doing that, or they're just like looking like they want to punch each other, like that's pretty fun.
Yeah, they showed good aggression, you know, in the ring and in their talents. The Monday Night Raw afterwards, Titus just like beat the holy hell out of Rusev. And then it continued this week. So it looks like it's going to continue at least until BattleGround, if I had to take a guess.
What was it? Was that the pay-per-view or was that like another night? He put the accolade on and just like sat down and wrenched him or whatever. I'm like, holy shit on the big guy Titus, man.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, when he came out and he was just like smiling, I was like, it's just another match, guys. And just like
home in Tampa.
He just fucking like threw the sucker punch. I was like, whoa, it's fucking on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the finish. They're gonna give him another match at the pay-per-view. Obviously, that's why they did the finish. So and they didn't beat Rusev, which, you know, most weeks I wouldn't put him past him to do something so stupid. But this is fine. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Hype.
After that, we got a backstage segment with Stephanie McMahon talking to Kane, And then The Miz and Maurice returned from filming the Marine 5. And
we found out actually there was more superstars, WWE superstars that were in the Marine 5 than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
Social Outcast, they were in Marine 5.
Yeah, I think they said that whenever they came out.
Yeah, they did, but I was like, oh, everyone's in there. What, Summer Rae, was she in it?
She was in the last one.
Oh.
Wait, are they also Marines?
No clue.
Maybe they're mercenaries for hire if you use their correct hashtag.
Bunch of jokers.
Because they're hard. So Miz and Maurice were talking to Kane and Stephanie, and Kane booked Miz in a match against a mystery opponent to defend his Intercontinental title for
Kane
later on in the night.
said he would do this and stuff like that, and Stephanie agreed. And it's like, hey, we are going to do this.
Yeah. So Kane booked it. She just made it official.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we got to see Seth Rollins go up against John Cena. I enjoyed this matchup. I wish they would have had a little more of the match on being aired, because I know they went to commercial in the middle of it. But Doug, what do you think about it?
Nothing really jumps out to me. I remember thinking it was fine.
Yeah, nothing too bad. But the club come out to distract John Cena, which allowed Seth Rollins to get the win, the victory over Cena, which is now 2 matches aired that Cena's been in that since his return. He lost to AJ Styles at Money in the Bank, and now he's lost to Seth Rollins. So he's in a slump.
Better get used to that. He's going to lose to everybody.
He's not losing to everybody.
You guys think it was sort of like weird or dumb to do this, like
Pabst Blue Ribbon shirt? Yes.
No, I'm fine with the shirt. Cena usually has better shirts than most people. My thing was like, do you guys think it was weird or bad or stupid that they did these guys are going to fight to see if they get in, and they all lose and don't get in?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just sort of like a weird way to tell a story. I get it.
Why do you think it's stupid? It's another way to set up like Cena and Styles, right? Like, because they tricked everyone to thinking that they were kind of past it a little bit, and then if you thought about it, this is a way that they both screw each other over, and then they were like, oh, well, you know what? I want another match with you. I'm pissed off. And
I mean, I don't really feel like it moved their feud further any. I mean, they left last we saw them. They were on unfinished business. So why didn't they need to make new business to be unfinished? Like, they're already like, hey, you fucked me out of my win. Like, that could be the reason to have another match.
Yeah.
Well, I think also people like to see them wrestle other people too.
Well, and that happened a little bit later on in the night.
Well, the point is like those guys are taking falls when they're guys who maybe shouldn't be losing.
Mm-hmm. But,
even if they're bullshit falls where they're like distraction roll-ups, they're still falls those guys are taking.
Gotta love those. But Seth Rollins ends up getting the victory after a little bit of help from the club.
AJ kept on saying, you owe us.
Yeah, you owe me one.
He'll owe you shit.
You owe me one.
When did they get the new gear with like the Japan flag bandana over the gas?
AJ just got it this week.
Yeah.
Have they had it before that?
No,
I don't think so.
I thought so. I thought Gallows did.
I mean, he's always had the gas mask, but they added like the Japan flag bandana.
Oh, it's
on
probably
top of
new.
it.
Then I guess.
I would think so. I think it's fairly new. Because Styles came out in his new jacket thing. So, weird. After that, we got to see Enzo and Cass come out, deliver their promo as usual. They
Didn't
went
their
up against.
promo seem weird to you?
It felt like, are these guys already in the place where they just are out there to do like their little hype,
They
like
do their
intro,
shtick.
like their New Age Outlaw shit, and then like then they're done, they're out of there because they did it fucking twice. They brought people out just so they could say the same thing again. I was like, what? This is fucking weird.
It was very strange that they end up defeating some enhancement talent, local guys.
Which is fine,
Yeah.
but like
They didn't even get a name, man. We don't even know who those guys are.
I have no problem with them beating job teams. We should actually see more like straight up job squash matches, probably, so that we can protect some of these fuckers who don't need 50-50 booking, taking losses they shouldn't be taking. But it's really weird just to have them send someone else out just so they can say their fucking shtick again. It's weird.
Because it's hard versus soft.
Hard
Do you want to be
versus
hard
soft.
or do you want to be soft?
Well, I guess they have to
How you
put them
doing?
against someone since New Day is doing their stuff with the Wyatts, and they don't have nothing for the Dudleys. I guess they're already past Dudleys and
And the
New Day and
Usos.
all that stuff, and the Usos. So, I mean, they're back from the Marine 5 set. So hey, how about y'all fight them for a while until something opens up?
Mm-hmm.
Because what are the vaudevillains doing?
Nothing really. I mean, they lost to End Zone Cast last week.
I guess they're also waiting on the draft too, and see where everyone else goes from there.
Yeah, it does feel like they're kind of in limbo right now about where everyone's going to go because we haven't seen the Usos on Raw in a while, but I think they were on SmackDown, and you saw them on Swerved. Yeah,
Drop it down for a discount. Drop it down for a discount.
but yeah, we'll have to see how the draft plays out. I'm really
We also have to see
curious.
how low they drop it down
drop it
for a
low.
discount.
After that, we got to see Summer Rae go up against Becky Lynch, but this match didn't even get
You didn't
underway.
even see Summer Rae. Oh, you saw
She
her,
was in the ring.
and then you didn't see her after that.
Summer is here, and Bird Lawin is in effect.
So why is Natalya a heel?
Because she's tired of miscommunications.
Yeah, that's what she
and
said.
It's time for her to look out for
She's
herself.
tired of
And
that's
she
what
has a
said.
cat.
She has a cat.
She's got a cat.
She brings it with her.
No,
No,
She
they
just has
should.
one.
They
we
should.
just know that she has a cat. You should follow her on Instagram.
They bring the cat with her.
She was part of her character now is that she has a cat, or you just know?
I'm just adding to it.
okay. You're just really
You're
observant.
not gonna bring the cat with her because
Well, every time that she's been on commentary since, she's like, I have a cat, by the way, and you should follow it on Instagram.
All right. Teddy Hart's pissed they stole his gimmick.
well,
Teach it
Teddy
to do
Hart trains cats
Front
to
flips
do,
instead
like,
of back
yeah.
flips.
Mr. Money is, I don't know. Mr. Money's not as ugly as their cat.
But yeah, so
Also,
Natalya.
his name is Mr. Money, which is kind of cool.
So yeah, Natalia's heel now because she and Becky Lynch bumped heads, which cost them a tag team match that had
She's
no
a heel
replication
because she
to
don't
it.
give a fuck.
Sounds about
The
right.
title was not on the line, so it's okay if they lose. Which I thought they were going to win that because of that reason, because it's a tag match and who really cares, and I don't care what kind of face he's making behind me.
I don't even know. I'm trying to take it in
doing?
and know what he's doing. He just looked weird, and I was like, "What kind of a weird face would I classify this as?" I sort of enjoyed Becky just sort of being mad and like going off.
She's like, I'm tired of all my friends turning on me.
Stop being so naive, Becky. Come on.
Becky did it. Charlotte did it. Paige, I'm sure,
Becky did it to herself.
Oh, I meant Sasha.
Be
Whatever.
nicer to yourself, Becky.
Yeah.
I hate
You deserve
myself.
better.
Heel turn on myself. Ah, can never win. So
I will beat my ass.
look forward to this match at Battleground.
That's innovative. She turned heel on herself. I missed a lot, man.
She's just looking at the mirror. I hate you. It's time for me to look out for me. After that, we got to see the highlight reel. Jericho, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. I enjoyed this segment. I dug the mic work from Zayn. And the rest of it was pretty good, too, I think. What about
I
you?
thought it was good. I thought it was felt emotional and like in not a manufactured way.
Yeah.
And I thought Owens played off it well with his just sort of nonchalantness. The
Sorry to
Jericho
tell you the bad news that you hate hearing over and over again, but that's the reason why I did it to you.
Yeah, but Jericho was sort of weird. Like I get he was just being a dick. He was being a heel. He was making it about him. But I don't know why he needed to be in the segment at all. Maybe I missed something.
This is the highlight reel. Where else are we going to see
I mean, like,
this?
there's no reason these guys couldn't have walked out there and had that conversation on their own.
Sure.
There's no reason that Sami Zayn couldn't have came out pissed off and called them out and be like, let's just fucking finish this shit. So maybe I missed something and I don't know why Jericho was there, but he didn't add anything to it, and he almost he didn't quite, but he almost took away from it.
It's
And,
so that you and all of the watchers at home and around the world could receive the gift of Jericho.
was it just?
Drink it in, man.
I don't have a problem with what he said or how he acted. I just didn't know why he was there at all.
To give the gift of Jericho.
All right, look, I can only repeat myself so many times. Like I don't know. I understand him as a character's motivations, but I don't know as the writers of the segment why they felt the need to go that route.
To give the fans the gift of Jericho.
Hey, you can't like meta kayfabe me. That's a bunch of bullshit. You can't meta kayfabe. We jumped out of the kayfabe box and we went into the meta. You can't fucking use kayfabe logic in the meta.
Here's the meeting backstage before Raw. Look, we want to continue this feud between Zayn and Owens.
We're paying Chris Jericho, aren't we? Fuck, put him in there. Is that what happened? Maybe.
It's been.
Why are we paying this man?
It's been one whole week since the fans have had the gift of Jericho. I feel that this is a good way to tie it all together.
I think people need to drink it in.
Drink it in, man.
So this is.
I didn't come back to play these fucking games with you guys.
We came here to play no games.
Oh. If I had a game for every time I drank in Chris Jericho, I'd have 0 games.
0 dimes.
0 dimes, too. So,
This is the last.
I was very impressed with the mic work skills from Sami Zayn. He's very passionate. And it got me thinking, like, I'm really glad that they decided not to go with the El Generico gimmick. Like, they really said, hey, we want you to stand out, not the character.
Yeah, he was really good. No, I take nothing away from Owens though, because he was equally as good. Just his demeanor he just had a different demeanor to play off of.
Yeah.
So
This is gonna be their last fight because
I
at
bet
least
they
now.
get drafted. I'm sure they get drafted.
Separate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different brands.
I'm gonna think if I had to bet on it right now, I would say Owens stays on Raw and Zayn goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, I can see that.
So after that, we got to see Miz defend his Intercontinental title against a mystery opponent, and oh my gosh, it's Demon Kane, not Corporate Kane. It's the other Kane, and the match happened, and Maurice got injured, air quotes.
Fake that shit.
Miz was so concerned that he decided to take her and go away and get counted out. And that was pretty much it.
That's it.
But then we find out that Maurice was acting the whole time. And Miz was like, you're going to get an Oscar. And she's like, no, this is TV. You're going to get an Emmy. I love you. And then they made out.
This was a Kane match that happened. I'm so glad that we're getting a brand split so that we can find a new reason to fill a roster spot with Kane.
Yeah.
Fucking love this shit, man.
Kane is actually going to Superstars.
Yeah.
That roster.
He's being sent down to NXT to help those guys.
Show
them how it's
Don't say that. Don't say
Show them how it's done. After that, we got to see a tag match featuring the team of Cesaro and Apollo Crews going up against Sheamus and Del Rio. And I did like the fact that Sheamus and Del Rio weren't getting along, and they threw back to the League of Nations stuff that they did, and how they split on bad terms.
I thought they split on good terms.
Oh no, they were.
No, they didn't.
They were all arguing with one another, and they were like, "Well, screw you. Well, screw you
There
too."
was like a backstage segment. They were all pushing each other, and then they just like all walked away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, shows you how much I fucking see. I don't know. I don't know how they split. I was just like, what happened? I don't know.
Yeah, they ended up losing a match, and backstage they were
Del
all
Rio
just
turned
arguing with
on
one another
Sheamus and like kicked him
in this match.
in the match.
Well,
Yeah.
in this match, Sheamus started it. He was sort of like he blind tagged himself in, and he was like, "Oh fuck you! I don't need you. I don't need anybody." He was doing that
Yeah,
shit.
we heard that on
And
the
then
mic.
Del Rio was like,
Fine.
"Fuck you, then, asshole."
Yeah,
Did
I'm
like
outta
the
here.
suck it chop, and then he like kicked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Fuck you."
But Cesaro and Apollo Crews end up getting the victory, so good on them. After that, we got to see the New Day come out, acting like the Wyatt family, cutting a little promo on them.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Oh yeah."
I was cracking up at the video when it first started because I was like, "Oh, we're getting the Wyatt family," and then it was like, "Nope, that's the New Day." Really funny stuff.
I thought they killed the impersonation shit.
I wonder where they're going with this Xavier stuff.
Okay, this is my question. Is this new to this week, or is this something that's been happening?
This is the second time it's happened.
Yeah,
I think
they-
it happened on SmackDown.
They kicked it off last week on Raw because the Wyatt family made their return, and then the New Day interrupted them.
Are you
All of a
saying
sudden.
this stuff happened with Xavier or just a feud itself?
Well, I gathered that at some point they started feuding, but I didn't know if the Xavier stuff has something.
Last week on
teasing.
SmackDown.
Okay. So what is it?
They haven't said.
He's afraid of them, or he's just like, hey guys, you're joking around too much, and I'm over the jokes.
We don't know.
Okay.
He's just being quiet and like
Weird.
He makes
Yeah.
a good Luke Harper though. I thought they all looked fucking killer in their get up. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see how it plays out, because I'm curious what they're doing with Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
Because like they even did a
Think they're gonna
backstage
split 'em up?
segment.
I hope not.
Draft Sluman, one of these motherfuckers is going to SmackDown, or two of them
Okay.
are going
How long has New Day been together? More than a year.
more than a year.
Oh yeah, over
More
a
than
year,
2
because
years?
they've held.
Not more than
Well,
two
they've held the title for almost a year.
I
Not more
still
than
don't
2
feel
years.
like they need to break them up.
Yeah, they're one of the hottest tag teams.
Well, the
going
thing
right
is
now,
like
or
if you
trios.
want to get him out of the tag scene, they can be a stable and do single stuff.
Yeah.
There's no reason to like sort of break up the whole act. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like AJ doesn't have to be involved in the. He's just like involved in the club, and the club like the tag guys do the tag thing, and AJ does his thing. They could fucking do that
Yeah.
without having to break them up.
Yeah.
But they don't think that way, so I don't know why. I'm almost certain they're gonna get split up on the draft.
I hope not. They have to realize that they're so successful. They've draw so much. But
They
like, nah.
fucking you look. I tell you what, in Florida I saw some fucking New Day t-shirts.
Oh, really?
I saw a lot of New Day shirts. But quite a bit actually. But the thing, I mean, they're for sure pushing merch. I don't know why they would break them up. I also loved how the unicorn horns were like the
Yeah, the
and,
light,
and
yeah.
the unicorn horn was on the lamb mask or whatever.
Yeah.
Sheep, I guess it is. rather.
Oh, sheeps, man.
And not Luke Harper. Eric Rowan has a new mask.
Ram.
Ram.
Oh, okay, that's what that was. I was like, did they just put horns on this thing or what?
Yeah.
I like how Kofi had the fake butt.
Yeah.
And the suit that he had said "Wash me" on the back.
Seeing how Xavier was Luke, I was like, oh fuck yeah, Harper's back. I missed his return or whatever. I was hyping.
No.
That man's
Sorry.
still out.
Yeah.
What is it? Have you heard anything on this guy lately?
Mm-mm.
What was it that he's out on?
He tore ACL, MCL, meniscus.
Oh, that's a
or
big
something.
deal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 9 months. So he's or no, maybe not all of that, but it was something pretty severe.
Miss that guy.
Yeah. He
He adds a lot to that act for sure.
Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. But that takes us into the main event of Raw. Dean Ambrose going up against AJ Styles. Seth Rollins was on commentary. The club made their presence known. John Cena made his presence known. Dean Ambrose ends up getting the victory.
What in the fuck was Carl Anderson doing? Because it looked like he didn't know what to do about 5 times during this beatdown. Did you catch that? Where like they were beating down Cena and he acted like he was gonna punch him, but then he like stopped and he did it like 3 times legit. And I was like, what is he doing? What the fuck?
Man.
Just beat him down or stop.
No, I didn't.
The club has just had an issue with timing lately. Like, because if you go back and watch the Fatal 4-Way from Money in the Bank, there's just this awkward moment where Gallows is in the ring looking at Big E, who's got Anderson on his shoulders, but Big Cass was supposed to clear him. And, I mean, they're literally just standing there looking at each other. We're like,
What do we
Like-
do?
yeah,
Like,
like-
waiting for the spot.
yeah.
to
What did I
happen?
do?
yeah. It's like there was a glitch or something, and there's lag, and they're just like, No. Very weird.
I don't know.
But anything to take away from the matchup?
It was solid. It was a fine TV main event.
Yeah. So Dean Ambrose ends up getting the victory. So it stays a triple threat match for BattleGround.
I mean, I don't think AJ's had anything you could classify as a bad match since he's been there.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good stuff so far. So that ends Raw, which takes us into the hot topics for the week. For those of you who are interested in Total Bellas, the debut has been announced Wednesday, October 5th on the E! channel.
So is that going to run at the same time as Total Divas, or is
It'll probably be like a power hour or something, you know.
well, Power 2 hours? Because
yeah,
Total
that's
Divas is
true.
an hour.
Well, there you
I
go.
know what's gonna get watched more than the other episode or other show. Total Bellas.
I mean, Total Bella's got all the star power.
Yep.
They have Daniel Bryan
Johnny Ace,
and Johnny Ace. Bella Power.
Daddy Cena, awkward Daddy Cena, inauthentic wooden
So what's the thing? They're all
Daddy
moving
Cena.
into Cena's house.
God, I hope so.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I want to see like
Cena freaking out. Don't do this. Don't do that.
I want like Daniel Bryan like doing compost piles in Cena's yard. I'm getting all pissed off about it. Can't wait for this shit.
What is Daniel Bryan doing? He's taking a shit in your yard.
Wow. All right. And, Tyler, since it will be at Cena's house, maybe they'll get lucky and he'll have like a nude scene in there so you can check out his dick.
We've got to see that dick.
So in other Hot Topic news, I don't know, Doug, if you heard the rumors making the rounds of WWE reaching out to former talent to help fill the gaps for some of the draft that's coming up.
I heard that.
Kurt Angle, one of the names on the list.
Okay.
He came out and said, "No, I'm not going to be involved in that." But he recently released a statement that said he may most likely return to WWE sometime next year. So
Not as an active competitor.
no. But
Kurt,
he is at least talking with Triple H right now.
There's no way that man can pass a legitimate physical. I don't know what the fuck they do down there in TNA, but there's no way he can pass any real physical. That man looks like in pain every step he takes.
oh yeah,
I mean, he's a fucking machine. I take nothing away from him, but you could look at him and say, and you could just look at his body and be like, "That's a fucking broken man." Like,
ow,
yeah,
ow. So there's Kurt. There's Goldberg. Talk to.
yeah,
there's-
okay. I don't
There's
believe any of that. I don't believe Angle. I don't believe Goldberg. Not in any like active roles, mind you.
That'd be
I mean,
like a one-off
Yeah.
kind of thing.
There. Who's the other big one?
Shelton Benjamin?
There's Shelton Benjamin, Carlito, JTG, Shad Gaspard.
Hey, Shelton X Benjamin is not leaving Suzuki Gun anytime soon. Nor Suzuki will slap the shit out of that man.
There's another person I can't think of. I don't know. Those are rumors. I said Carlito.
Yes, you did. Good stuff. And WWE have also reportedly dropped the Balor Club trademark. So
Yeah, I mean, if they're doing the club and he's coming up soon,
just
Or
let him
he's
do his
never
own
coming
thing.
up. Or he's never coming up, and then they don't need it.
Maybe.
I read some spoilers
Oh, yeah?
for NXT.
Yeah?
I think one of the matches that he lost to was Shinsuke, because there's like multiple.
Hey, so they're doing the Shinsuke match on just a regular TV?
Yeah.
It's not a special?
One of the nights there was reported that he was saying goodbyes and like to the crowd and stuff, and he looked emotional. So I think he may be about to come up.
Cool deal.
Baylor. I'm just kidding. I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
In Tyler's favorite topic that's not John Cena's dick, Brock Lesnar will be on the cover of WWE 2K7.
Brock Lesnar's dick.
Brock Lesnar's dick. Tattoo on his chest.
I like that commercial or whatever.
Yeah.
So far, Brock Lesnar, Ultimate Warrior, John Cena,
Dick.
Sasha Banks, and Goldberg.
Shasha. Good stuff.
No Shinsuke.
Hey, I bet Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are going to be on there too.
Sasha.
Shasha. Have y'all heard that Cody Rhodes has been supposedly offered a Legends contract?
That's strange.
It's very strange.
I heard it was because they had already have toys that haven't come out yet that have him on it, and so they have to sell those. They have to get a deal with him. So either that or they have like a house full of like Cody Rhodes dolls that they can't move or whatever. So I think that's what it was.
That's tempting. Like, do you just put him up for that?
Fuck y'all. No, because I bet he wants to maintain a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
He's working Evolve, and Evolve's all tied into them.
Yeah,
yeah.
because he's on the team with Drew Galloway, EC3, and Chris Hero in the anti-WWE group. That's versing the cruiserweights like Johnny Gargano and TJ Perkins and all that group.
Yeah. Speaking of the Cruiserweights, the Cruiserweight Classic coming up pretty soon.
I'm pumped, man. They've been showing a lot of videos and stuff.
The weigh-ins.
The weigh-ins. They showed them all going into the ring, and they have Morrow and Daniel Bryan, like, give them some stats on them and stuff. Like, it's really cool. And they interviewed some of them already. So 32, and there's a lot of guys I've never seen before. So I'm excited to see what they're all about and different styles and just bringing all this to WWE is pretty exciting.
You know they already taped the first show or whatever.
Yeah, they already did. Yeah.
They've taped like 4 episodes. I heard.
Really? I gotta look at that.
But
But the
it's still-
first one, I was like, oh, okay, all the guys who should have won are like won in advance.
So, like, I wonder. It's like, okay, so you lose. What do you do? So you're going back to your indie stuff, and then just.
You've got the exposure of being in that
Yeah.
tournament.
Congratulations, kid.
So
Here's the
I guess the
t-shirt.
winner is getting a WWE contract.
I would not be surprised if they like crowned a cruiserweight champion or something.
They get a
with brand.
trophy.
Like the
See you next year.
top 5 get like a contract or something.
I bet whoever the winner is on either Raw or SmackDown. I bet they eventually crown like a cruiserweight
Well,
champion.
even if Tommaso and Gargano don't win, they're still in NXT. So
Yeah.
and Rich Swann.
So, final bit of hot topic news. It looks like WWE are going to be bringing back Clash of Champions.
I thought you were going to be like, in other news, WWE are bringing sexy back. I felt like that's where you're going with it.
No,
They
not
are.
this time. Are they?
Yeah,
How?
I don't know.
Okay,
I just a rumor.
cool. Good to know. So that's going to be happening in September.
Oh, bringing sexy back is going to happen in September.
Yes. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. That being said, it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question, only question, coming to us from Rosewood, saying, hey, guys, another great show. I have a question for you guys. How do you guys feel about chair shots to the head? I completely understand concussions are an extremely serious injury and should not be taken lightly, but a buddy of mine and I were talking, and we think that protected chair shots to the head should be allowed. In no way am I saying guys should take the chair shots like it's ECW, but the wrestler getting hit should throw their hands up to protect your head just like they protect themselves. When being bounced off the announce table or steel steps or ring post or the turnbuckle, and the wrestler swinging the chair should take extra precautions to protect the receiver of the shot, the way Triple H protects guys when he swings the sledgehammer. Also, what about blood? No, guys don't need to be bleeding like Ric Flair every night, but watching a Hell in a Cell or an Elimination Chamber with no blood somewhat takes me out of it. I feel protected chair shots and use of blood should be brought back as long as the workers take care of each other and execute the moves professionally to the best of their abilities and are willing to do so for the sake of their performances. What do you guys think?
I mean, there's a world of difference between an unprotected headshot and a protected headshot.
Yeah.
You get your fucking hand. There's a big difference between getting hit in the head with a fucking chair and putting your hand up and getting your hands hit with a chair.
Yeah.
There's a big fucking difference. Look, I can't pretend. It would be phony and dishonest of me to say that I've never like seen unprotected chair shots and be like, holy fucking shit, and got all hyped up about it. It would just be dishonest if I said that I did it. Now, the older I am in my fandom and the more I understand how that could impact someone's long-term health or short-term health even, I don't need it. I don't have to have it.
Yeah.
I'm not ever going to criticize a match if a guy doesn't fucking take a headshot. Even a hardcore match or a death match, or I'm never going to criticize a match if a guy doesn't take a headshot to the chair.
Chair shot to the head.
Yes.
I like that.
What did I say?
Headshot to the chair.
You know what I mean.
That's
fuckers.
pretty good.
I don't need it. But I can't deny that if someone's going to do it anyway, I can't deny that I would get high. I would look at it and be like, oh shit, and get like excited. It's just like, it's a visceral reaction. I can't deny that. Now, does that make me a bad person? Maybe. I don't know. Does that mean I'm like contributing to like a lot of poor health to a lot of guys? Maybe. The fact that I viscerally react that way is why they do it. Even in spite of knowing that they're going to fuck themselves up over it. Maybe they know that. Well, I can sit here and say like, you know, that's shit. These guys should protect themselves, but they know if they do it anyway, I'm going to be like, oh fuck, you know, like, so maybe that's why they do it anyway. So maybe I'm not saying I'm not part of the problem. I'm obviously part of the problem, but I don't need it. I'm never going to criticize these guys if they don't fucking like kill themselves for me.
Right.
It's not, it's
oh
just not
man,
fair.
it's like I totally miss headshots. I mean, they always hit each other on the back, and
yeah, I mean,
headshot. No.
I think I get where she's coming from with the blood. I do think like Hell in a Cell or something like that. I do think blood adds to the match.
Yeah.
I do. I think it does. I don't need to see it all the time, and I'm not going to criticize them if they don't do it, but I think there is a safer way to do blood than there's a safer way to get hit in the fucking head.
Yeah. Like when they did the Roman Reigns broken nose before Mania, when Triple H did it. I mean, they did the blood pack or whatever, and that added to it.
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't have a legit broken nose, and he didn't cut himself.
Right.
You know, so it added to it without endangering the person. And there's always that moral dilemma of, you know, kids are going to watch this and try it at home regardless. You know, and yeah, you shouldn't be throwing people into tables if you don't want kids to do it. Yeah, you shouldn't be throwing them into ring posts or something like that. But, you know, swinging a chair at someone's head and, you know, the kids might not catch that the hands were up are going to try that with their buddies.
See, I don't buy into that argument simply because literally anything that you can do in the ring, the kids can be like, well,
yeah.
I'm going to fucking do that too. Like, a kid may not understand how someone protects themselves on a pile driver when they do a pile driver, but if a kid just decides he's going to fucking pile drive another kid, the kid's going to get fucked up. and maybe that's, I mean, I would hope that the reason they're doing it is that they're protecting the wrestlers is why they don't do them anymore. But
they're avoiding concussions at all costs.
But you can literally make that argument about anything that can happen in the ring. Like, the kid can see that and try that. Yeah. Anything they do, they could say that about. And
every wrestling fan at one point or another has choke slammed their friend in the pool, on a trampoline, on their bed.
Sure.
You know, everyone's done it at one point.
Fuck, man, I would do it today if I could get away with it.
Tyler,
I can't pick Tyler up with one hand.
The other day,
well, he's gonna jump, so you know, he's got to sell it for you.
The other day, we had Corbin, and I convinced him, and I picked him up into like the fireman's carry, and I was about to do like the AA, but he wouldn't let me. He's like, get. I was like, I want to get down. He's wiggling. I was like, no, man.
Like, oh, you'll get down.
I was like, let me just do this to you on the couch. And he's like, no. I was that close. I've always wanted to do that to a little kid.
Well, whenever you have a child of your own,
it's on.
go.
It's on.
That poor child.
Yeah, I think blood's a little bit safer to do. I mean, I think if you're gonna standardize test these guys and girls, then like, why not do blood tests? Why, if you're gonna do fucking drug tests, do blood tests as well. There's a way to like be like, these guys don't have any bloodborne diseases, so if we want to do blood, we can do blood. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor or a scientist, so I don't know if there's like some latent bloodborne diseases that aren't detected immediately, so don't criticize me. I didn't go to fucking medical school. I'm sorry. But it feels like that is a little bit safer than someone getting blasted in the fucking head. That's for sure brain damage, no matter how you look at it.
God, you know, when I was younger, when that happened, I was like, oh, man. But then I was like, yes, that's so cool. But you don't realize what it does to those people.
Well, everyone, I mean, until you realize that, like, hey, these dudes are fucked up because of this. And it's not just wrestlers, it's like MMA fighters and anyone who's taken, like, trauma to the head on a fucking semi-regular basis is getting fucked up like this. I mean, it's not specific to wrestling. It's like any sport where they're getting hit in the head like that. I mean, I'm not a big football guy, but I understand they have a lot of problems with concussions in football as well.
Yep.
And it's like, as a society, the only way to ultimately cure this is to, as a society, say, well, we just don't do any of this shit anymore. And like, is that going to happen? I don't know. Does it make me a bad person to enjoy that in spite of it? I don't know. Maybe it does. That's an honest question. I'm not being like modest or trying to make a point. I'm saying I don't know if we're fucked up because we enjoy this shit knowing it's going to hurt someone eventually.
Well, it's like the old gladiator days, you know. It's a contact sport, and well, obviously gladiators was much more contact.
I mean, fighting to the death's a little different, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like UFC, you know.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt those dudes are getting brain damage.
Yeah.
Like, if you're getting hit in the head, you're getting that fucking brain damage. No doubt. So does that make me some asshole because I'm watching it? Maybe it does. I don't know. But, like...
How far away are we from the Hunger Games for real?
I mean, not pretty far, because I'm sitting on my ass. I ain't
You've been
involved.
chosen. Not us, but like people, you know, like you have UFC where people fight each other in order to knock them out or submit them. Well, how long until we as a society go, you know what? I wanted to see it go a step further. Give them a bow and arrow. Fight to the death. Bring back the gladiator days. Our society is crumbling before our very eyes.
I don't know, man. It seems like it sometimes.
Yeah, without getting political, it's going to be bad. So yeah. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for us this week. So thank you all for the questions and the comments. Make sure you leave your questions and comments on our YouTube channel, WNSvideo. Also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. Subscribe to our show on iTunes by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com. And make sure that if you're in the Houston area on August 6th, go to the Pasadena Convention Center because we will be there at the Icons of Wrestling, Comic Book Collector Fest, and House of Hardcore is going to be taking place. It's all for a great cause, busting for autism. So we're going to be out there.
They added some new people.
Hey, when's that Raw in Houston you were telling me about?
End of October, I think.
October or August?
Or
I thought you said
August.
August.
Sorry. Sorry. I don't know why I said October. But yeah.
When is House of Hardcore?
August 6th.
They had some new people. He said Moose.
Yeah, Moose is going to be there. He's going to be...
you better go see him now because motherfucker about to get signed.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Roderick. Who else you said that was going to be there?
Vicky Guerrero is going to be there.
Nice.
Carlito's going to be there. Tommy Dreamer, Mickey James, a lot of other good stuff. Good talent is going to be out there. So definitely worth checking out.
I don't know if you noticed now, it's now actually going to be House of Hardcore versus Booker T's ROW.
I saw something about that.
Yeah, Booker T's going to be out there as well. So we're going to have all of the access there. With the exception of like going into the locker room, we pretty much are going to have free range to do whatever we want. So should be a lot of fun. So that's going to do it for us.
You can find us on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Twitter at WNS Podcast, at WNS_Daniel, and at Tyler_Abear.
So there you go. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I'm Brother Nero.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.
It's over.